Tired and chubby-cheeked, they seemed too dull for the news. A few months ago, locals threw acid in their faces. Even in the black and white of the photographs, their scars along the jaw, the nose, the better half of a cheek. 10 years since man had landed on the moon. And still, we are not boys from Kerala. We are protected. No ruse better than a woman in the home, Nikhil had argued over a year ago, and eventually Sharma had agreed to a marriage of convenience. Kanu, who had loved Nikhil through his childhood, and even through his years of chasing prostitutes, had arranged for a village woman who knew about the two men's relationship but would never tell. Nikhil rummaged through his almirah and returned with a gift in his hands. "You close your eyes now." "Oh, Nikhil." But Sharma did as he was told, accustomed now perhaps to receiving precious things. Around Sharma's neck, Nikhil tied his dead mother's necklace. It had been dipped in 24 carats of gold by master artisans of Agra. Miniature busts of Queen Victoria decorated its circumference. A piece for the museums, a jeweler had once explained, but Nikhil wanted Sharma to have it. That morning, when he'd visited the family vault to retrieve it, he'd startled himself with the enormity of what he was giving away. But what better time than now, as they were about to begin a family? "Promise you'll dream about a child with me. It is beautiful, and I will wear it every day, even though people will wonder what is that under my shirt. Let them wonder. You are entirely mad. Mad is what you are." Nikhil was pulled back to the divan. Sharma, lifting Nikhil's shirt, placed a molasses square on his belly, teasing a trail of sweetness with his tongue. Nikhil closed his eyes and allowed himself to be enjoyed. Down below, the rum sellers negotiated, the prices of bottles fluctuating wildly. Afterward, they retired to the roof. Their chadars cut off the cold, but Nikhil still shivered. When Sharma asked what the matter was, Nikhil kissed the spot where his eyebrows met. There was another old roof across the street, where grandmothers were known to gossip and eavesdrop, but he did not care. Let them see, he thought. Let them feel this wind of enormous change. The next morning, while Sharma washed, Nikhil said, "I want you to toss the idea to your wife. Get Thripti used to the matter." Sharma dried himself so quickly he left behind footprints on the bathroom's marble floor. "Toss the idea to my wife. Get her used to the matter," Sharma repeated, before he changed into his working clothes, leaving Nikhil to brood alone. Thripti would have few issues with the arrangement of a child, Nikhil believed. After all, at the time of her marriage to Sharma, her family was mired in bankruptcy. Her father had left them nothing but a reputation for drink and dishonesty, and she herself, insofar as he recalled from his sole meeting with her at the wedding, was a dour, spiritless creature who deserved little of the bounty that Nikhil had provided her. What little else he knew was from Kanu's reports. Extremely pliable, Kanu had first said. Then, closer to the wedding, little stubborn about the choice of sweets. She wants village kind. On that note, Nikhil had wilted. Let her have her desserts, he'd said, the wedding paid for, and the matter removed from mind. The next few days, when Sharma was away at the village and at the foundry, Nikhil paced around the house, overcome by the idea of a child. He'd always dreamed of becoming a father, but had never believed it would be possible until this year's monsoon, when, in the middle of a deluge, his 42-year-old sister had given birth to a girl. The rain had been so fierce no ambulance could ferry them to the hospital, so the elderly women of the family assumed the duties of midwifery and delivered the child themselves. The first moment he saw his niece, he nearly believed in God, and, strangely, in his own ability, his right, to produce so perfect a thing. He couldn't bring Sharma to his sister's house to meet his new niece, so the next week he'd spent their Thursday together sharing photos. If Sharma experienced the same lightness of being, he didn't let it show. All he said was, "Quite a healthy baby she is." It was true. She'd been born 9 pounds 2 ounces. The family had purchased a cow so that fresh milk would always be available. Nikhil convinced himself that he had opened Sharma's heart to the idea of becoming a father. But the exuberance of this conclusion led to certain...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.